pretty simple. This is, and I totally love, and I tried explaining what I do to my family once, and we settled for I'm a developer. Because on one hand I had this option that I do nothing, I contribute nothing to the society, to being a developer. So I said, okay, let's settle. Midways, cool. So this is how we are projected, that this is what we do. And quick show of hands, how many of you are developers? Cool, wow. I love you guys. मतलब डिजाइन लिखा था, मतलब टाइटल में फिर भी आया हो. I love you guys. How many of you are professionals? Like working, startup, freelancing, either ways. Good. Designers? That makes like 6, 7 of us. But I'll make sure that whatever I explain works for you guys as well. Right? You developer friends of. So yeah, so many roles, from being a writer to QA and everything else. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. But what do I do? And more importantly, why you should care. So this is going to be a case study. I'll explain how we build industry level products at Zomato, and obviously if you can take something from this and apply to your thing, that will do fine. Thank you. My intent is to give, because I've been, when I was a student, I struggled a lot with basically knowing the processes. How you basically go from this idea, this vision, to a product that has millions of users, right? So this is going to be a case study. How everything connects and how we do it at Zomato, right? Expecting coupons? Anyone? Oh, wow. I saw that meme and I said, okay, I cannot go empty-handed. So this is what I have brought for you guys. Zomato Gold is now on delivery. Okay? Yeah, you guys can use it. And if you don't have it, here's my code. You get 10% off. And I get 1 month free. So I'm expecting 3 years, maybe extra milenge. Okay, 36 people. Right? Cool. So this is where we start. So why reviews are important? First, we need to understand why reviews are important. So when a restaurant does good service to you, you give good feedback. So yesterday we went to this. How many of you have been to Agora Mall? Good. This place, the Masala County. No one. It's amazing, dude. You should go. It has great food. So when they gave me the feedback form, it has 4 things. It asked food, ambiance, service, and overall experience. And I could not give less than 5 because they had done like amazing job with the food and everything. So when restaurants does good things, you give good reviews, and once you give good reviews, people read it, and more business comes there, and that translates to more people coming in, more footfall. What it translates to? More money, right? Paisa तो सबको चाहिए, ठीक है? So that's how this cycle works, and also it helps us to sort of charge more. So where are we now? And that guy, Foodie. Yeah. This is what the aggregate total of all the 3 other food platforms. Reviews, count of reviews, 0. Right? This is where we are. 26 million, close to that. And but are we big enough? Are we there to sort of help you? So then we see Yelp standing with 148 million, and as we are a global platform and India first, we want to get there. But then you see TripAdvisor, 715 million reviews. What you can do with that? Guys at the back, can you read this? Yes? Okay. So you can basically influence $500 billion of traveling. So all these Make My Trip and all these apps and platforms got their hit after this thing happened. Because people were reviewing so much, people wanted to try. You have seen travel blogs, they didn't exist, this exists, right? And that's what they are taking forward. So, we wanted to get there, we wanted to get to TripAdvisor, but to be honest, that was not our primary goal. Our primary goal was to help you guys, right? And this is the research, this is a quantitative research we did. How many of you understands the difference between, thank you, fireworks? That was not planned, by the way, right? So, yeah, so how many of you know the difference between qualitative and quantitative research? Yeah, please.
Qualitative research, you try to get the knowledge about the quality of the food. For example, talking about Zomato, you try to get the quality of the food from a particular restaurant. And quantitative, you try to get the feedback of based on the quantity of the food.
Yeah.
So qualitative research is just about all the things that properly telling in layman terms, then it's just so let me tell quantitative. Quantitative is all about the numbers that companies ask for, like कितने लोगों का survey किया आपने. And qualitative is you are trying to understand the culture and then lifestyle and observing the user.
Yeah. So both of you are right. Okay. So I don't have much to add to this. So this is how it translates. The companies does surveys to understand a very big market. That's called quantitative. And if you are trying to understand why they are behaving a certain way, why they are clicking this button and not that button, right? Why the click-through rate is higher. People come to your this thing, but they do not click. They do not like sort of make a purchase, right? Then you do the quantitative part of it. So very good, guys. So clap for. So yes, this is exactly what we did. We sort of focused on the consumption part first, and that is basically reading reviews, right? And this is what we found. Sorry, this is not visible, but I'll try to explain. The first question says, do you check the restaurant rating on Zomato? And before going to a restaurant on that thing, and we got like 85% people saying yes, we do check. Like every time I go, if it's a 3.5 or less, it's a no-go. We don't do. Right? For every 100 ratings you check, how many reviews do you read? We read 5. 5, right? On an average, we read 5. And why don't you read too much reviews? So the answers were that the ratings are enough and too long to read, too much time to process, right? So that was our thing on the consumption part, and then we did for the creation part. Do you post reviews? Do you post reviews on Zomato? How many of you post a review on Zomato? How many of you have posted a review in last 2 months? Last 1-2 months? Have you seen any difference? Anyone? Tags coming in or anything like that? Okay. Someone did. So yeah. So we have rolled it out, and if you haven't got it, then update the app. It's there, right? So they said they don't post reviews. 53% said they don't post reviews. Then 44% said that they rarely post a review. That means once in a month or once in 2 months type, right? So remember this 44%. That is going to be the target audience moving forward, right? And why don't you post a review on Zomato? I'm not a review posting client. It's too much effort. What that technically means is, It's too much effort, and I'm not sure whatever I'm going to write, it is going to be grammatically correct. I have that blank screen syndrome. We all have it. If the screen is blank, we don't know what to write. If there is something, we can write. Right? And this comes from writer's block and blank slate syndrome or something like that, right? So that is what that meant, and we wanted. So these were our two findings. What we focused on: present reviews in a very short and crisp manner that can help people, and secondly, help people write great reviews with less effort, right? Because that was the problem. Still with me? समझ में आ रहा है?
या
अगर नहीं आ रहा तो बता दो, ठीक है? और अच्छे से बताएंगे, ठीक है? Oh, meet Rahul. How many of you know the context? Or how many of you know the meaning or this movie? कौन सी movie है? क्या होता है? कुछ होता है, but actually not that well. This Rahul. So this is the story of Rahul, who came to study in Ahmedabad University from Gurgaon, and he liked a girl, Shivani. One day he asked her out, and she said yes. Quick question: how many of you have girlfriend? भाई दो लोगों ने ना हाथ यहाँ पे लिया है, पीछे लिया. Next question won't be I want their numbers, obviously. Okay, cool. He decided to take her to a restaurant for having a nice lunch with nice ambiance, where they can have a good conversation. Live music in the background to set the mood, and Italian food because she liked it. He found some way or the other. What will he do? He'll do exactly what we guys did in the beginning. Go on Zomato or Google Maps, check reviews, struggle for, like, you know how much time do we take to decide actually a restaurant? You'll be amazed. I have the data. Don't worry. 15 minutes to 2 hours. 120 minutes wasted on just finding where to eat, dude. Isn't it too much? Dude, you can write some extra lines of code. You can do a pet project. Sorry? Shivangi deserves, but maybe at a restaurant, not at sitting home, sir, going through the countless feeds, right? Shivangi deserves it, I know. ऐसा नहीं आपको नहीं पता, ठीक है? And if he can take it up for 2 hours, then that's so nice, right? But yeah, so she deserves it, but in the restaurant with Rahul, not at home scrolling through the listings and finding a restaurant for a good experience, right? Okay. So this is what we set out to do. Problem statements. पता है सबको? Right? So this is basically the bigger objective. Whatever we try to do, we try to solve this. Right? Whatever we do, we try to solve this. We won't do anything that goes against this. So it says, how might we, it's just the way you write problem statements, and this is suggested by Google Ventures, right? How might we help people decide where and what to eat with the help of reviews? This is what we set out to do, and I actually picked this, and फिर से clap करवाऊँ मैं. Good. So yeah. So we started with the consumption part first, because if you know, the consumption part is mostly where the problem is. Because if you start getting small hints to where to go and why, then you will start creating as well. The problem is, abhi you don't read, you read 5 reviews for 100 ratings, and that is basically maybe 1 review per restaurant in one search experience. So solving for money waste time poor, it's basically a code that says we don't have time. Cool. So I'll try to explain. Stay with me. So what we try to do is we try highlighting a particular thing about that place in all those 5 things that we discussed about: food, ambience, crowd, value for money. Which I Cool. So in this case, the food has been highlighted as amazing shakes, right? So we tried highlighting those things, and niche you get the suggestions of more things you can try, the more things that are good there, right? Then we started adding personalization to it. We start adding the photos we get to sort of help you guys to gain more context. And then we try to fit more in, because if food doesn't get you in, then the ambience will. Right? And Instagram stories, right? We tried something like that. And in all those cases, we were solving crucial UX problems, that is to figure out a way to give you very crisp things that you can process easily and make a decision right at that moment. Right? And if you click in, you see more such reviews, right? So this is what we settled for. So here you see perfect for conversation, amazing shakes, for Insta-worthy food, live music, and brunch. So it tells you in a very short manner on here. And this is the top of the restaurant page. It tells you all these things, and how we got there is we took hundreds of reviews, sorted it into 5 to 10 tags. Right? So if people are talking about perfect for conversation, I went there and I had a good conversation with someone. Or if this place is nice to talk business, client meetings, girlfriend. Right? So we got that. How we got that is we passed all the 26 million reviews we had and got all these tags, and by introducing a new creation method which captures context. So the slide I showed you, the one typical earlier review, it has only one thing, 2 things actually missing: context and relevance. Context of what I ate, what kind of service I got, and the relevancy, how is it relevant to me, you as a person, right? So that's how we started solving for the consumption part, and now we want to create something for the creation part. So this became our new, the second problem statement, that was how might we make it easy for our users to post reviews quickly and efficiently. Creation, same process, adding context and relevancy to reviews, what was missing in the earlier version. We started exploring, so this is very contextual, sorry. This is very contextual. So once you give the rating, so let's suppose in this case I have given 3 star, it asks me a question and then gives me tags on the basis of that. And so on, and in the next one, you can see basically we tried the next version where we had 5 categories and we let you add as many tags as you want. And then we went all creative. So you have the category, we ask you food, we'll give you some positive reinforcement, that is bravo, why did you laugh? So we appreciate you, right, for trying that experience. And you press next, you go to the next question and you do that. But what we found was, when we did usability testing and all, because the problem is we got all creative, we were not solving the problem. It was like to tap and you go to next page and you do tap again, right? And this was creative, but people were not going to use it for like frequent, that 44% of the people were not going to convert. We settled for this. The suggestions you will get for a particular question, what did you love, or what could have been better, right? We give you tags 5 to 10 options on the basis of those 5 factors we discussed, and you can tap, tap, tap and move ahead. And it's in the single page, you get 2 questions at most, right? So the first question, and how did we get those tags? It's basically by doing 26 million reviews that हमने parsing किया था उससे, and secondly by analyzing other things. So this is how it works. So you are at a restaurant, you give a 5 rating. What did you love? It asks you one question, because if you have given the maximum rating, then we understand that most of the things or बहुत ज़्यादा कुछ अच्छा था. And if you go down, we try to ask you what was not up to the mark and ask you what was good later. And if you give 1 rating, then it asks you what was horrible in that terms. And can I do that again? Yes. And as you give a rating, you get a symbol of is it excellent experience, or is it a good experience, or is it a bad experience, right there on the top. It's good experience, 4 star. It's average. It's bad. And it's horrible, right? So we added very much context to it. So yeah, context, we got the context. Oh shit, Ahmedabad. I'm very sorry. No chicken egg. Oh, but I do know that jalebi fafda is not a problem. It's actually the solution. But just to keep the facts. Yeah. So these are some of the problems we had, that how do we get the suggestions? How do we make sure that we are not giving a good option in a question where the question is what could have been better, right? And all those kinds of things. We had so many problems, technical problems, right? How do we source that? How do we put icons to get that interaction? How do we get those emojis, right? And how are we going to source that, which are the high frequency words and everything, right? So that was very good. Wow, nice. Thank you so much. That was not planned. Back to this, the joke offline. Okay, so these were some of the problems we had, and we didn't know what to do. And we went to our engineering team and said that this is what we tend to do, and you tell us how we can do it, right? Sorry. So how we solved it is, we show the consumption part in 2 parts, known for that you actually saw on the top, and where you can see the ratings and everything on the Zomato app. Now you will be able to see what are people talking about. And the bigger part is, we did another research to find out how people are taking this, and someone said, anyone from Google? Okay, now I can say. Okay. So I don't know if you know, like Google somehow does this thing, they understand what you are talking about and everything, right? Tweet कर रहे हैं लोग Twitter पे, ठीक है, और जाके बात करो तो they are feeling insecure that we are trying to capture what they are talking about in the restaurant and about the restaurant. माइक्रोफोन हमारे पास एक्सेस है, तुम बात कर रहे हो मेरे को सुनाई दे रहा है, ठीक है, तुम अपनी बेबी को बेबी बोल रहे हो और मुझे सुनाई दे रहा है, ठीक है. So this is what we sort of found out, and we had to change that, and it's something else now. So on the creation part, we sort of we did the same thing. We found out all those tags and started giving as an option. But जो 26 million reviews है ना, वो एक ऐसे रेस्टोरेंट के लिए है या ऐसे रेस्टोरेंट्स के लिए है जो बहुत टाइम से Zomato पे एग्जिस्ट करता है. What if कोई आज खुल रहा हो, क्या हम तुम्हें छोड़ दें, हमें नहीं पता, नहीं. So that is called cold start. Cold in technology world, it's called cold start. How do you start something if there is nothing? We applied a very good amount of machine learning and natural language processing to understand all those things, and this is how we solved for it. This is how engineering solution looks like. So we ran machine learning techniques on 26 million reviews and looked all over the internet to find out the generic word pool, generic tags, right? So some generic tags could be nice ambiance, good ambiance. What's इसका कोई वो पता है? Synonym. Then we got down those all into words and phrases, right, that we understand. Ran it through simulator. If you can see, there's a simulator here. I don't know. So this is telling me what tag and what number, right? And then we ran it through sentiment detector. We have a sentiment detector. So if you post, gali allowed है इसमें? So if you try to post Sale on Zomato, it might get posted. But if you write Sale kutte, वो हटा देगा, it will get moderated. And how that works is, there is a positive and negative score we assign to it. So यहाँ पे लिखा था service was bad, right? So we give a positive and a negative score to everything we go through. And if it's a positive thing, then we sort of show it in positive. And if it's highly negative, we don't show it at all. We take care of you guys. But मतलब offline गालियाँ पढ़ने ठीक है, online गालियाँ किसको पढ़ने ठीक है, except these are memes. And that's how tags were formed. Cool. We'll go deep into each one of the steps. And so we applied all the libraries on the text to get that. We talked about that global generic word pool. So that is called global tag corpus. We applied various libraries on the text available on Zomato and all over the internet to get the global tag corpus. Then we took some tags from our content team, those people, Akshar Pathak and all, right? How many of you know Akshar Pathak? Big fan. Follow that too. So so we took the global tag corpus from the last step. We added content team created tags and we ran it through Z-tag engine to form Z-tag corpus. Z-tag corpus means that global tag could consist anything about anything, right? We need some, everything relevant to food and all, like those 5 factors only. If anything goes outside, that does not get here. Z-tag corpus does not have that. Then we take the restaurant reviews. I'm very sorry. I don't know why this happened. We took the restaurant reviews. So let's suppose a particular restaurant reviews. We ran it through the Z-tag corpus that we formed, and we understood that how many times this Z-tag corpus's tags appear. So frequency, right? So if मेरे पास ये है कि I have to find GDG in, let's suppose, 500 words long paragraph. So I'll make a search. It tells me 32 times appear हो रहा है. Same funda. Cool. So what that gave us is top positive tags that we'll use in the positive, like what did you love and stuff. Top negative tags that we'll use in what did you not love or what could have been better stuff. And most frequent tags, what are people talking about. Right? This is the backend. This is the engineering solution. So obviously the terminology we use for the consumers would be different, right? And popular tags, positive plus frequent. This comes at the top, known for the tags we started with, right? Yeah, so this is how the final solution looks for the creation part, and the consumption part was there. So you select tag. So what did you love? You select, I like this thing, I like Navratra food or whatever, and these tags has exact food suggestions, exact ambient suggestions, and it works really fast. So if you try to search something on Zomato, it takes 200 milliseconds to process it. If you search any tag, it gets processed in 40 seconds. Oh, sorry, 40 milliseconds. That's scary fast. So yeah, then you can sort of post it. Okay. But what good a product is if it does not have a wide scale impact, right? So let's talk about impact as well. 3x growth in reviews than the previous version, that is version 15, with just 43% adoption. 43% adoption means that only 43 people out of 100 got the update, and we are seeing 3x update. It might come down a bit, but we're still 2.8 times there, right? 7x. So earlier we were taking tag-based reviews only. Now we're taking earlier we were taking text-based reviews. Now we're taking tag-based reviews. 7x more tag-based reviews than text-based reviews. 47% month-on-month growth in new reviewers. 43% adoption again. Right? So I don't know if there is any data guy here. He can tell you this can scare you. Actually more than that, and there is no down curve to it. So 5 key takeaways. So we started this with counting the reviews, right? That Swiggy does not have reviews, Zomato has 26 million and this. But we could have stayed with that. We would have stayed by increasing more entry points. Like when you come to Zomato app, we just ask you to review the logo. Okay, and that might have increased basically this reviews for sake of reviews, but we couldn't have solved the problem. So this will, so we thought of a bigger picture that how can we solve, how can we help you guys, and so we saw the bigger picture there. We prioritized that this is the 44% that rarely ones we want to convert them to frequent ones, right? So that was the prioritization on the user segment. We simplified and simplified some more. So earlier versions of creation was something like this. You select a tag, and what that tag is, similar kind, the same factor you get 5 more same factor. It bursts into 5 more tags. So we simplified it, we simplified some more, and we brought it into one page. One page that you can easily consume, right? We understand every curve. Data curve. So how we figured out that people are not consuming that, what are people talking about? We got it from the data curve. We saw like 1.6% of downfall, and we were afraid कि ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? Are people not liking our stuff? But the point there was that people were thinking it's trying to capture. Well, it sounds like who does it? Who will believe that? What people are talking about is just mic capturing, but this happens. That's why you do user research, right? If you are in a company and it doesn't do user research, you do not try to talk to your customers or get any kind of feedback. Those things happen. Understand engineering. This would not have been possible without the efforts of our engineering team. So big kudos to them. Connecting the dots. So this is what it means. So you'll soon be able to search for perfect for conversation or great for family dinner on Zomato app, or how about a combination? And those two things could be very different, right? Like just an example, right? So you can you'll be able to search for that. Okay, what's more? So we have collaborated with Google on this, and this is what. So if someone writes a review in English, but you guys only know Gujarati, then this is how we help you. We translate everything into Gujarati, right? And you can still have the same experience, and this ships out tomorrow, right? So that would technically mean Rahul can finally take Tina out. I don't know why they are in this cave. I don't know. But yeah, this is that technical means. Want to know more from the engineering and on or how basically tags and everything works? We have 2 blogs for 2 articles for you on our Zomato blog. You can go through them and let me know if you feel anything else. I'll just take 2-3 more minutes. So yeah, this is my personal mission. This has nothing to do with Zomato. but this is my personal mission to inspire 20,000 new problem solvers by the end of 2020. I hope I could cross some numbers by helping you guys. So thank you so very much. Right. Questions? So I don't think we have time for that. So or we can take some. Do you guys have any question? Engineering question, design question, business question? How can, yeah. Yeah. So if you use any abusive language or something that is not good to say, like per se from a moderation point of view, we won't show it. If you write a bad review, it gets added. Right? It gets added. Yes. See the laptop. Please, मुझे भी दे दो यार. So it gets added, right? But if you have used some abusive content or any thing that is politically incorrect or targets a particular segment of user, it goes away. The machine has learned. We have fed some data models into it, and it removes it by itself. So when you press a comment, so you basically say submit, basically. Yeah. So what happens is that goes into first moderation. It never goes live. It shows you live, but it goes for review in like 10 minutes, and then only it gets published. In those 10 minutes, we understand what was your sentiment, who are you talking about, and everything else, and then we decide if it has to go live, and we report you. Due to such reasons, you have used abusive language or it hurts this particular segment of the society, we are not letting you put it. Right? And if you have any further problem, the support team always hits. Anyone else? Yeah. Yeah.
How you keep your data up to date? Any restaurant has changed their menu. How you keep those cards updated in your app?
Okay. Yeah. So this is how we do it. So everything we do on the menu side, which connects to reviews, has it calls the same API. We find whenever you are typing for a particular dish, let's suppose you are typing for, what do you like? Pizza? Yeah, you guys order pizza a lot. I don't know if you guys notice. I have shown that there too, right? You guys. So let's suppose you are searching for onion capsicum pizza. Onion is right. Onion is fine. Okay. So if you are searching for that, we call the same API. It checks if that exists or not, and if it does not, we let you create and we inform the merchant that okay, this product has this many this thing. Any more questions?
So, what if I give the rating to a
will give you an will actually notify you that okay, so you get to select tags first. So you gave a rating and you have to select some tags and then you can write as it, right? So what we do is we notify you that your sentiment and your rating does not match. Because it can hurt the restaurant as well, right? If just because, I don't know if you notice, the delivery partners, the ballet guys, right, what they do is, they still, if they have to give you 5 rating, so we let them vote you as well. And that's how we have a system of how it connects back, if you are that valuable customer. So yeah, so what they do is, they have 5 stars. What we'll do is, we'll click on 5 star if you have to give 5 star. Then click 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. Yeah, so we give this option to them that okay, this does not align, please review it before this thing, because that is something we need to put, right? Because sometimes it just happens, right? Cool. Any more questions? I can take more offline, right? Thank you so much, guys. Don't need to follow me or anything. If you just have a question, just ping me and I'll be at your service.